I don't know what happened to Dennis. Apparently we ran out of time and he had to go.
Yes. Where did Dennis go?
No, good to hear from Dennis Pitta. Good luck to him and the Ravens this year. Can't wait to see him fully healthy another season with Baltimore. It's going to be good. Yeah, we did play pickup in the Smith Fieldhouse back in the day occasionally. There's a group that plays on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon, and so those were fun. I remember one particular moment where he fouled me. I called the foul. He did not agree, and I thought, uh-oh. I don't want something to go down between me and Dennis Pitta right now. Luckily, nothing did.
Oh, because you were going to take it to him? Hey, you know what? Let's bring in Trevor Matich. He needs to get involved in this conversation.
Wait a minute. It's a pickup game.
Yeah, pickup hoops.
You called a foul.
Yeah.
And he did not respect your call.
He did. Well, he did, but he was kind of like, pfft.
I hope
something like that.
I hope you did not let that disrespect stand. I hope you hammered him, because if that happens, you will be his for the rest of the game. I hope you did not let him dominate you.
That's a BYU TV blankets right there. Yeah. No, I did not. I backed him down in the post, probably had a little jump hook off the glass and scored. I don't know.
That's the story. Whether it happened or not, that's the story.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Matich Monday. Just another Matich.
It is a Matich Monday.
And it's a Matich Monday on a Monday, which is kind of new.
And Media Day. We have all sorts of alliteration happening right now on BYU Sports Nation. Okay, Trevor, this is a huge day, a day that a lot of BYU football fans look forward to, because it's now time to turn your eyes to the prize of 2014. 67 days away from Connecticut. How do you view the state of BYU football right now?
It's outstanding, and it's on the rise. BYU is always at that top 25 level, but they're building a program now, and independence has really helped with it, to get up into more of a consistent top 15, top 10 kind of a level, and you can see it occurring right now. I'm very excited to see how things play out this year.
Isn't it interesting that BYU is coming off of back-to-back 8-win seasons, yet they're in the national discussion so much?
Yeah, but part of that, I think, was an anomaly at BYU where they couldn't throw a forward pass. That's
referencing
new
2 seasons ago
here. Yeah, and there have been reasons for it. I mean, they've had issues at quarterback. They've had issues with protection. They've had issues at receiver at times. And it all kind of became this bucket of bolts instead of a humming Ferrari. And because of that, nobody was really able to really roll with that passing game. Well, now they've got stability at quarterback. They've got experience coming back at the offensive line, and they should have one of the deepest receiving corps in the country. There'll be a lot of new guys, but there's a lot of talent in this receiving corps. And I think you'll see a quantum improvement with deep passing from BYU this year. Complement the defense with that, and you've got the ability to take a real big jump in record.
I like the phrasing you use there, quantum improvement. And there has been this significant leap from BYU quarterbacks from sophomore to junior seasons, or at least from first to second year starting a full season. Taysom Hill is in that position. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like he can go next level as a junior?
I think he can go next level because I think he will be allowed to actually play a little quarterback instead of play keep away.
To stay in the pocket.
Yeah, keep this in mind. Last year, BYU's running game was fantastic. But from his development as a passer, it's nice to be able to once in a while drop, set, throw.
Yeah.
And for Taysom last year, it was too often drop, run, because he was pressured too often. And so he wasn't able to develop that kind of timing, and yet he still did very well as a passer and as a thrower. And so this year, I think the offensive line will be much improved. And with more playmakers, more depth there in the receiving corps, I think Taysom will do a lot better. Another thing is that he's worked with Tom House, who's been a 35-year pitching coach, who's worked with NFL quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Drew Brees this offseason on not just his technique, but on his physical capabilities to play the quarterback game. And one thing that Tom House understands is that pitchers are rotational athletes. In other words, they don't push like a bench press. They rotate. And so he's trained pitchers over the years to get rotational strength and rotational control. That helps them have stronger arms and greater longevity. And it helps their arm keep from becoming fatigued so much later in the season. Well, in working with him in the offseason, I talked with Taysom about this about a month ago. He's learned technique that will help him be a more consistent passer from a platform standpoint. And he's learned physical training in that rotation that will allow his arm to get everything out of it. And so I think there's a lot of good things for Taysom coming up in this season.
What's harder for Taysom, to learn how to do that or to break the tendency to want to run, because he is great at that?
Wouldn't you want to run too if you had somebody coming by to hit you in the mouth?
Yes.
Yeah, I would run too. I would become the greatest running quarterback in the history of BYU. And again, not to be disrespectful to the offensive line, but last year they platooned about 8 guys. It was like a hockey
11
game.
different guys started.
11 guys.
Yeah,
That's
but
too many.
Right, because they had some injuries and stuff like that. But there were about 8 that they wanted to go in there, and because of that, they had a lot of guys in there that were just not really ready yet. But nobody established themselves. They didn't have a 5 established. Now they've got some guys from that group who had really great springs, who established themselves in their position. They've got a lot more competition. They got some new guys coming in. Because of that, this goes back to Taysom. Everybody blames the quarterback. Well, a passing game needs to have a lot of things come together. One of those things is protection. But think about this. This is one thing that we've talked about over the last year or so when we visited on Mondays, that everybody loads the line of scrimmage to stop BYU's running game. So what do? They try to throw the ball down to Hoffman. And he was great at catching the ball, but wasn't dynamic from a standpoint of then turning a catch into an 80-yard touchdown with tremendous speed. He was fast enough, but he wasn't that guy. And then other guys, there wasn't enough consistency in terms of playmaking. There were some good players there, but not enough to help Taysom. This year,
They've got it.
This year, they've got fast guys. Now, if you load that line of scrimmage, if they give him protection, and I expect them to, then with the loaded line of scrimmage, you'll have guys one-on-one, not with just 1 or 2 receivers that can threaten them there, but with 4 or 5. Now, all of a sudden, I think you'll see more old-school throwback, long BYU completions. It won't come with the same style necessarily, but it'll be the same effect as long as all this stuff comes together. Now, the players have to get it done, but the players will be there. And if they take ownership of it and do it right, there's no reason why it shouldn't.
ESPN college football analyst and former BYU national champion Trevor Matich with us on a Matich Monday Media Day here at BYU Broadcasting. What's surprising to me is a guy that had just inked on with ESPN, Phil Steele, who is a college football I don't know, what do you want to call him, a guru by statistics?
I don't know
and
if guru
expert.
even count. Expert, they've got to create a new level, another word, because expert doesn't really do him justice.
Bible writer? I don't know.
The writer of the college football preseason Bible. Phil has said that he anticipates the offensive line to be the best position group for BYU in 2014.
That shocked us.
That literally blew us out of the water.
So much for Phil being that top. No, I'm kidding. No, it's just a joke.
He took the career starts number, and he thinks BYU makes a huge leap. More than quarterback, more than running back.
And
that was surprising.
And the thing is, this BYU offensive lineman will now be in their second year of conditioning for ludicrous speed.
And that second year, you have the go fast, go hard offense. That's right.
Right. And BYU, I mean, offense, defense, and special teams, I think last year ran more plays than any other team in the country. And platooning that offensive line helped with experience last year, but it also helped from a standpoint of guys understanding what kind of conditioning they need to play more plays. And if you've got the big, powerful Alabama type, 330-pound lineman that bench press 600 pounds, great. Huddle up, take a breath, off you go. But if you can maintain a high level of play with a good level of strength, but do it at hyper speed, it wears down the opponent. And I tell you, it really tells in the fourth quarter. And so that offensive line for BYU, now their conditioning will be a better match for what they're being asked to do because they've had 2 years now to do it, not just one spring.
Barry Trammell of the Oklahoman, about a week and a half ago, wrote an article in which he referenced a West Virginia fan saying, What if BYU had a scheduling agreement with a Power 5 conference? What are your thoughts on the possibility of that in the future? I know this was addressed in State of the Program.
There's a lot of things that are out there for that. The thing that BYU needs to hope is that they can still schedule as an independent teams from Power 5 conferences. And the reason is with a 4-team playoff, it gives them an even better chance to get into the national championship picture than under the BCS with just a 2-team playoff, just one game, right? And so the selection committee will look at strength of schedule. And as long as BYU is able to schedule teams from those conferences, their strength of schedule will be fine from a selection committee standpoint. Now it'll be a matter of how many games did you win and certain comparisons that they will make. So what the Power 5 will do right now has not been established. I think BYU brings so much to the table as an opponent from a standpoint of national audience, from a standpoint of a brand name marquee game, probably on national television, not regional television much of the time. I think there are many reasons why BYU as an independent is attractive to those Power 5. Now we'll see what they think and what they do. But because of the brand that BYU has built, I think things look positive from that standpoint in the future.
So right now, BYU seems they're fine without any kind of scheduling agreement, especially
well, I don't know that they're fine. I'm saying that I think they bring a lot to the table.
Yeah.
And as long as they can schedule, I don't know what the answers will be going forward. That's what I'm saying.
In a couple of years, like 2015,
Yeah.
that's strong enough if you go undefeated.
Yeah, and right now
possibly get into the 4.
And that's right. Oh, listen, this year's schedule is strong enough if they go undefeated to be considered for the top 4.
With Cal and Virginia, Texas
Texas will be better. Houston.
Boise State, Central Florida.
Houston is, listen, if the selection committee is paying attention, if BYU knocks off Houston, that will be a quality win. Houston will be one of the better teams in the country, not just in their conference this year.
I'm just looking at those P5s. I see one of those 3 being quality.
Yeah, but BYU, I think, has the cachet that there are enough names in there and enough quality teams in there for people that are paying attention. That I think this year there's a chance. Now, keep in mind this, that when BYU won the national championship in 1984, there was a lot of help. It seemed like that last month of the season, we'd win a game, and then we'd look at what happened for other teams that were ahead of us, and they lost. And
right.
next week, another one lost. Then another one lost. And we had a series of miracles on the field, which kept us undefeated. And so BYU would still need those things to come together, whether or not they have a super strong schedule. They will still need that to come together. I think this year would put them in position to be in the discussion with the schedule that they have. They wouldn't be a lock, but they'd be in position to be in the discussion.
Trevor Matich with us on ESPN. We always want like a win total, a realistic number for BYU football in 2014. There's potential to go undefeated because of the way that the schedule shakes out. Where do you see BYU football in number of wins this season?
I see 9 wins at least. I think they have a good chance to win 10. And if they stay healthy, they could win 11. And where that 12th would be, I don't know. I have high expectations this year because I understand the players that they have combined with the system that they're running. This is the second year of the go fast, go hard. I call it ludicrous speed. And believe me, defensive coordinators around the country hate to face the kinds of things that BYU can do with a mobile quarterback like Taysom Hill. They are in position, but it's up to the players.
Trevor Matich with us on BYU Sports Nation. Trevor, always great to have you. Look forward to Matich Mondays in the fall. Thanks for bringing it on Media Day.
It's great to be here, and I promise I will never call a foul on you.
Thanks for not asking for any food or anything.
Like Bronco Mendenhall and Dennis Pitta.
Your lunch is on my plate out in the cafeteria right now.